What's up, bro? It's your boy Jersey Boy Brooks. You follow me on Facebook at Jersey Boy Brooks or Squad Spot Jersey Boy Brooks. Real quick, I just want to chime in on the whole Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury situation real quick. And there's a lot of facts that people are not understanding. And what I want to explain real quick is this. People don't understand. This is the issue. This is the core issue between Wilder and Tyson Fury. This is the issue. Deontay Wilder previously fought Tyson Fury the first time in 2018. It was back in December of 2018. Okay? The fight was a draw. Now, with that being said, at that time, Deontay Wilder was offered to fight Anthony Joshua, I think for like 50 mil. Okay? But Fury wanted a rematch. Okay, Fury wanted a rematch. He wasn't satisfied with the decision of the draw, so, he wanted a rematch with Deontay Wilder. So, Wilder, people not looking at the humbleness of this man. People not looking at the loyalty of this man to turn down millions of dollars to show loyalty and respect to someone which he didn't have to. And this is the issue between Wilder and Fury. This is the problem. This is the core issue. Wilder agreed to fight Fury in a rematch. Okay? He turned down the Joshua fight out of respect for Fury because he wanted to honor his agreement with Tyson Fury. So he turned down the Joshua fight out of respect for Tyson Fury. Okay? The second fight happened. Now, whether we want to say he cheated or not, or if he didn't, or if he did, it's just going to be my opinion, it's going to be your opinion. We could go back and forth all day. Now, Fury won the second fight. He took the champion title from Wilder, the WBC champion belt from Wilder. Now, it was already in agreement, already on contract, that they were supposed to fight again. I think they were supposed to fight in October, I believe. That Fury said, Fury already by his own admission said that the third fight was supposed to happen. He said that he wanted to happen in front of a big crowd. Now, as a fan, I can't say, oh, well, the contract expired. I didn't see the contract myself. That's fan talk. They say the contract expired. That's fan talk. Because obviously something in there was breached to where both of them are sitting in mediation. And the terms are for Fury to pay Wilder or to fight him in a title match. Those are the type of terms that's being discussed. So something there was breached. Something with him, you want to say, oh, Wilder let the contract expire. But at the same time, people were using this as a talking point to get Fury out of the fight because during the period of when the fight's supposed to happen, you got to remember last year when the COVID first hit, back around March, America was shut down and most of the world was shut down. So they couldn't book a fight even if they wanted to. Sometime later around spring, things started to open up and we started to see events happen. So, but still, even now with COVID restrictions, the fight didn't take place. It didn't take place because of the COVID situation. And people are using this excuse to say, well, let the contract expire. I don't think he let the contract expire. What it is, you can't book a fight in a pandemic. You see what I'm saying? Or especially a big fight like that. Even with the Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight that's supposed to happen, they're trying to figure out where it's going to be. Or if it could possibly happen because of the COVID situation. So with that being said, a lot of people won't understand. Fury and Wilder issue is because Fury reneged on his deal with Wilder because Wilder gave Fury a rematch. And being that he gave him a rematch, of course it was rightfully so for Fury to return the favor. And that's what the issue is about. That's what the problem is about. Okay, that's what the whole thing is about. People are looking past us. And I don't understand in boxing, how can someone be a champion? You know, you take the title from somebody and you just run off. Usually, when someone is dethroned or someone is defeated, that person usually is entitled to a rematch. That person is usually entitled to another fight. That's usually what happens in combat sports. So for all you out there saying that, oh, Wilder lost twice, Wilder lost once. The first fight was a draw. I mean, I think Wilder won the first fight, but we could go back and forth about that all day. You can't say, oh, Wilder lost the first fight. That's opinion. That's why the first fight was a draw. Okay, he lost the second fight. But so what? He lost one time. And the thing is, you can't just say he doesn't deserve another fight. The guy was the champion of the heavyweight division for 10 years. That's why the terms for Fury and Joshua is either he fight him in a non-title match, which would be kind of reductive. Why would Fury want to fight Joshua in a non-title match? Or Fury has to pay out Wilder. So something there was breached. Something there was breached that we don't know exactly because they're actually still going through the court process as of right now. So with that being said, excuse me, a lot of people just, you know, all this, they have like a cult like following that has like this big anti-hatred towards Wilder because people cannot explain to me as a fan, you know, wait a minute, how can Fury not defend the title? What are you guys talking about? I mean, he has to defend the title. He has to. And that's why one of the terms of law school is for him to give the title up or drop the title. See what I'm saying? So there's no way around it. And people were saying, you know, well, Wilder's scared to fight Fury. Now Fury's scared to fight Wilder because he can easily fight. This would be smart if anybody, you know, that's part of the game will fight Wilder, get him out the way for 30 mil, or whatever, how much it's going to be, and we're looking to get 100 mil fighting Anthony Joshua. So why not just fight the guy? The guy supposed to be a bum, so to say. Even though Fury didn't agree to Wilder being a bum, he said that Wilder is the most dangerous heavyweight in the sport of boxing. Why not just fight him and get it out the way? You know, it's supposed to be easy money. So what it is too much of a risk for him to fight Wilder because usually in rematches, the person who lost before comes harder. They come harder, and that's a big fear for Fury because we can't just say, oh, because he won the first two fights, oh, he's going to win again. I don't know. Boxing usually we seen Alberto Duran and Sugar Ray. Bro lost the first time, came back harder, and rematches. Fighters come harder. You see what I'm saying? They come back with a vengeance. And Fury and his team and his fan base know this. They know this. So it's like people have all the excuses and shit like that. And people don't understand that you can't say that if it will probably never happen. If it is a possible third fight, that Fury will win again. I don't know. We can't say that. We don't know that, feel me? But we might not never know because it might not never happen. But you can't just say, okay, he lost twice, or he lost the other time, he's going to lose again. I don't know. Usually in rematches, the person that lost before just comes harder. So that's really just basically just the truth. So the purpose of the video is just me explaining that the issue with Fury and Wilder is basically just Fury kind of like tricked the guy a little bit, like he kind of like finagled him a little bit because Wilder gave him a rematch and he expected a rematch in return. He expected a rematch in return, but Fury bounced off on him. You know, he ran off on him. So in boxing, I've never seen a situation where someone who has took the title for someone and people are sitting here saying that, oh, he doesn't have to fight him again. Like, when does this ever happen? And I said that people are hating Wilder so much, they have a double standard to where Anthony Joshua fought Ruiz the first fight. Ruiz knocked him out. Ruiz actually won the first fight. They just had a rematch, and no one said Joshua doesn't deserve a second fight with Ruiz because he lost the first time. Come on, that's contradictory as hell. Wilder's the only person held to the standard where he doesn't deserve a second fight because he lost the first time. But Anthony Joshua fought Ruiz a second time and won, and nobody said we don't want to see a second fight. Nobody said, oh, Joshua lost to him the first time. Nobody wants to see that fight. No, like, people have this double standard, and they're so contradictory when it comes to Wilder. He's held to this crazy ass standard. You see what I'm saying? Joshua fought Ruiz again the second time and got the title back. That was rightfully so. I don't know why people think Wilder's not entitled to regain the title. He's supposed to get the title back. But that's really just my chop up on that. You're going to comment, follow this with Jersey Boy and Brooks. We just on Jersey Boy and Brooks. We chop it up.